Hi everyone, and welcome to Season 2 of Turn This Way. I'm your host, Jennifer Radkey, and I am so glad you're here. If you're new around here, Turn This Way is where we explore mindset tips and truths to help you lead with clarity, calm, and confidence, both in business and in life. And this season, we're turning the spotlight directly toward the world of hospitality. Whether you own a restaurant, manage a hotel, run a bar, or lead a team behind the scenes, Season 2 is designed just for you. We're talking real-life mindset strategies for the fast-paced, people-driven, burnout-prone world we work in. Because how you think affects how you lead and how you live. If you own a hospitality business, you have a lot of expectations placed on your shoulders. Not only are you expected to grow and operate a successful business, but you are also expected to inspire, motivate, and lead by example. You're expected to show up with a growth mindset, resilience, innovation, and empathy. I've seen too many LinkedIn posts putting all the pressure on operators like yourselves to pretty much be the perfect example for the rest of your team. That's a lot, especially if you don't have a support system in place to help build the mindset and skills required to be that leader. I'm here to tell you that you don't need to be perfect, but you do need to be willing to grow, acknowledge mistakes, apologize, and genuinely care for the well-being of yourself, your team, and your business. That's where this podcast comes in. Think of this weekly podcast as part of your support system, a brief touch point where you can check in with your own mindset, thoughts, beliefs, and daily habits. There aren't many places specifically for you to do this. So whether you're walking into your business, wrapping up your day, or grabbing 5 quiet minutes with your coffee, you've got a place here. Let's turn this way and get started. So as we all know, the calendar has turned. We are in October, and Q4 is screaming its demands at us. Let's start with the truth. Q4 in hospitality is intense. For many, it's the busiest time of year. There are events, seasonal menus, hiring pressures, shifting guest traffic, holiday expectations, and more. And let's not forget our personal lives. If you have children, they are now well settled into the school year. Homework and extracurricular activities are in full swing. And as fun as it can be at times, the holiday season is looming around the corner, with all of its own demands on our time and energy. And because of that, we often default into survival mode. We tell ourselves, just get through it. Push a little harder. I'll rest in January. Sound familiar? Because I know I've told myself these things, and I've heard my clients say them time and time again. But here's the thing. You can lead better, serve better, and live better when you're not running on fumes. And that starts with resetting your mindset, not your workload. You know as well as I do that resetting your workload can be a monumental task, which involves the cooperation of others. Resetting your mindset, however, only depends upon yourself. Let me ask you something, and you can pause here if you want to reflect or even grab a notebook. What story have you been telling yourself about how this year needs to end? Are you trying to make up for a slow Q2? Are you pressuring yourself to finish strong, but you don't even know what that means anymore? Just notice the story. Notice it without judgment or anxiety. Awareness is your first reset. So now that you are aware of your inner narrative as to how you envision Q4 ending, let's walk through a simple Q4 reset framework. You don't need to overhaul everything. Just 3 mindset shifts can help you lead with purpose and peace through the end of the year. The first mindset shift is clarity over chaos. Instead of chasing more, ask yourself, what are the 1 to 2 things that actually matter most right now? This might be streamlining your holiday service, keeping your team motivated and rested, focusing on guest experience over flashy promotions. I know a lot of you are entrepreneurs and your minds are always buzzing with new ideas you want to try or major changes you feel will take your business to the next level. I want you to get real with yourselves. Is now the right time to start? In the big picture of things, where does your energy and focus need to lie? If you have been coached by me before, you'll know that I consider myself a realistic optimist. It means that I strongly believe in the power of positive thinking and positive action, but with conscious awareness and mindfulness of yourself, business, and environment. So be mindful of what you take on in Q4. I want you to take a minute and think about this question. What is one priority I want to protect in Q4? Write it down, put it on your wall, and let it guide your decisions. Okay, the second mindset shift we are going to discuss is progress over perfection. In Q4, the pursuit of perfect can cause real damage. First of all, the idea of perfect doesn't exist. There is only growth. Perfect implies that there is no room for improvement, and with the fast-changing pace of our industry, there are always areas that can be improved upon. Secondly, perfect creates a whole lot of pressure for you and pressure for your team. And lastly, the idea of perfect is not quantifiable. What seems perfect to you may not be perfect to others. You don't need a perfect year end, a perfect holiday event, or a perfect social feed. You need momentum. You need mental space. You need presence. Momentum, mental space, and presence are 3 key ingredients to creating a successful Q4. If you are needing some clarification around how momentum, mental space, and presence can be created in your business, I'd love to have that conversation with you. Reach out to me through Instagram or LinkedIn and we can chat. So I want you to go ahead and throw the idea of perfection out the door. Kick it to the curb. Trade it for consistent, aligned progress. I'm a huge fan of mantras. They act as mindset reminders. So if you are looking for a mantra to repeat to yourself this Q4, try this one. Done with intention is better than perfect with pressure. I'll say it one more time. Done with intention is better than perfect with pressure. Okay. The last mindset shift I want you to focus on this quarter is energy over everything. You are the thermostat for your team and your business. If your energy is drained, it will trickle down. Take a minute and remember a time when you were around someone who was negative and had very low-key energy. How did being in their presence make you feel? What did you notice about your own energy level? Prior to my work here at KRG Hospitality, I worked in several management teams that had what I like to call energy thieves on them. Individuals who would show up and complain about everything and everyone. Gossip and indifference were their weapons, and I noticed the effect it had on my own mindset and productivity, and of everyone else around them. Don't be the energy zapper of your team. Now, I'm not asking you to put on a show for others. This doesn't mean being fake positive. It means protecting your mental bandwidth. If you are protecting your mental bandwidth, you will naturally show up with positive energy. So what does protecting your mental bandwidth look like? Let's start by asking a few questions. Am I scheduling time to breathe, reflect, or reset each week? This doesn't mean meditating for an hour every day. Although if you have the time for that, kudos to you. I know I don't have that type of dedicated quiet time between work, family, sleep, exercise, etc. But I can find 5 minutes, and so can you. Next question, am I delegating tasks that drain me? And the last question, am I saying no to things that aren't aligned with my Q4 priorities? I want you to carefully consider these 2 questions. What drains your energy the most this time of year? And what's one thing you can let go of? Even one small shift makes a big difference. All right, we've looked at 3 mindset shifts you can make now to create a less stressful and more successful Q4. Let's anchor your reset with a short guided reflection. If you're driving or working, just listen. If you're seated, feel free to close your eyes for a moment. Imagine it's the last week of December. Your team is smiling, you're tired, but not burned out. You feel proud of how you showed up. What made the biggest difference this season? What are you most proud of? What did you let go of that made space for more clarity and peace? That version of you isn't far off. You're just one reset away. Thanks for tuning in to Turn This Way. I hope this episode helped you slow down, zoom out, and reset for the season ahead. You can't be everything to everyone, but you can motivate others by how you choose to show up. Feel free to come back and listen to this episode as needed during this quarter. It's going to be hectic. You're going to feel pressure. It's how you choose to react to it that will make all the difference. If you found this helpful, send it to a fellow hospitality leader, someone who could use a breath of fresh air in a busy time of year. For more support, coaching, and resources to help you lead your business with clarity and calm, visit us at krghospitality.com or connect with me on LinkedIn. Remember, your mindset matters. Let's keep turning towards growth. Take care, and I'll chat with you next week.